Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Near Cinema 2, and welcome to Classic WoW, the completely and utterly dead game. Holy hell, I had no idea it was actually going to be this bad. So, World of Warcraft Classic came out a couple of years ago, and just a couple of days ago, they released the classic version of the Burning Crusade, which of course was the first expansion to World of Warcraft. Well, with Classic WoW, I never played the original, right? I started playing WoW towards the end of Mists of Pandaria, and so, as a result, I missed out on the first couple of expansions, I missed out on the base game, I missed out on a lot of it, which is kind of crazy, though, because Mists of Pandaria was a very long time. It seems like I'm kind of new to the game, because I started out with Mists of Pandaria, but in reality, that was also a very long time ago, but regardless, they decided to release Classic WoW a couple of years ago, which is the base game as it was back in 2005, and that was really awesome. I'm actually going to include a couple of screenshots here. So, I started the game off, and I was really enjoying it. I got my friend Zach, who a lot of you guys from my Twitch streams will know him. I got my friend Zach to start playing with me. He was Westeros, the Night Elf Hunter. And we were leveling together, right? I'm a human paladin. He's a Night Elf Hunter. We're just enjoying Classic WoW. It's slow, it's grindy, but it's enjoyable. That the MMORPG was perfected with Classic WoW. It was so fun. All the people in the world and the classes and the unique abilities and everything just felt so good. And then Zach stopped playing for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why that was, but then I was left alone as a paladin trying to level out in the world. Now, there are so many memes about the paladins in Classic WoW. They are so bad because it's basically just auto-attacking, right? Seal, judge, auto-attack, run out of mana, drink. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And so I kind of lost interest. I would go back and forth between retail WoW and Classic WoW, and then of course doing my Call of Duty stuff on my main channel. Eventually, before I knew it, I ran out of time. As you can see here, my Paladin is level 58, and I decided to go back to Classic. When Burning Crusade came out, the Classic version that is, you had the ability to choose where you want your character to go. You can put them on the Burning Crusade servers or stay on Classic. Well, I want to do Classic, I know it's been out forever, but I thought it'd be fun to do the attunements and go raid Molten Core. I thought it would be fun to try to get through Blackwing Lair, maybe AQ, maybe Nax. I don't know exactly what it would be like, but no, Classic is dead. If we do a /who right here, we'll do levels 1 through 60 on my server. 47 people. It's actually a lot more than what I had previously. Earlier today, just a couple of hours ago, it was 27 people. Now, what they did is they took your servers. As you can see, this person here has no dash next to it. That's because they're actually on my server. The rest of these are other servers that are connected. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like a bunch of servers all actually connected together. If we actually look at just my server itself, there are only, looks like 3 other people online originally from my server. And if we do we'll do level 60s. There's 32 level 60s online right now. And some of them are in Dire Maul, some are there's 3 total people hanging out in Stormwind right now. 3 people in Stormwind. Lots of people in... there's something going on down in Stranglethorn today. I'm not entirely sure what. They can't all be there for world buffs, can they? I mean, probably, actually, but still. I think everyone logged in to get their world buffs down in Stranglethorn, and then they're going to log out, maybe. Maybe that's why there's so many people online. But by so many people, we're talking about 32 level 60s. It's not even enough people to host a Molten Core raid, right? Classic WoW, unfortunately, is completely and utterly dead. And it may change after the Burning Crusade Classic is out for a while. This may change. I'm hoping it does, because there's so much I would like to do in Classic. But like a lot of other people, I'm sure, I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off until eventually it's like, oh, well, now it's too late. Now I basically can't even play Classic. And that sucks. I do want to get to 60. I stayed here on the Classic servers. I do want to get to 60. And I have a lot more fun doing it this way as compared to playing Red. Now, obviously, at 60, I would more or less be healing if I can actually find people to play the game with, which is very unlikely. But as for leveling here, I can just simply do this. So I think it was level 50 or so, I finally decided to respec into Protection. I bought a shield off the auction house. I actually got this from a Sunken Temple run, which was definitely very helpful for being up here in the Plague Lands facing all the undead. And essentially what ended up happening was I found that I could just AoE tank all these mobs down at once, and typically not die. Sometimes I die, other times I wouldn't. It really just depends on the situation and whether or not I'm actually paying attention. This particular run wasn't quite paying attention, and as a result, I forgot to put up my Seal of Wisdom, and that is what is going to be causing me a lot of issues right here. But I'll show you exactly what I've been doing in terms of leveling to kind of get myself from 50 to 60, even though Classic WoW is essentially dead. So as a prop paladin, well, it's mostly protection with a little bit of holy built in. I think most specs are kind of like that in Classic. You got 16 points in holy here, mainly just because I want to get consecration. You need consecration to AoE tank. And then under protection, I just built into all this so I can get myself holy shield, as well as blessing of sanctuary and redoubt. And the precision's obviously very nice, and a couple of other things here, right? So the idea going into it, and make sure, I have a bunch of Morning Glory Dew and a bunch of homemade cherry pies and all that stuff, right? Basically what I do is I make sure I have my Blessing of Sanctuary up, which reduces damage I take, and when I block melee attacks, it causes damage to the attacker, holy damage specifically, which is kind of like, from Pokemon terms, like super effective against all these undead mobs. And from there, I basically just tickle everyone to death. So I get my Seal of Wisdom, I grab a couple of mobs, I judge Seal of Wisdom on my target, and then I get them all in just a big pile like this, and I have my Seal of Wisdom up again. So basically, every time I attack my target here, I'm getting mana to return, and with that mana, I'm using Holy Shield, which increases my chance to block, and whenever I block, they take a bunch of damage, and I'm also casting Consecration. That's pretty much it. I mean, Classic WoW is not, and as you can see here up the top, about to run out on this, so I'm going to go ahead and then judge a different target, re-put Seal of Wisdom up, and there we go. And usually I dispel any of these that pop up on me. But in general, this is just what I do. I grab anywhere from 4 to 5 mobs, I slowly tickle and AoE them down, I try to utilize rested XP as much as I can, and now I'm just slowly grinding my way to level 60 here in Classic. And the main reason why I'm doing it is just simply because I want to say I did it as a Paladin, 1 to 60, no boosting, none of that, like, just straight up did it, right? One of those annoying, tedious, painful classes in the game to level, I got 1 to 60 in Classic, even if it took me a very long time. I mean, my overall slash played is pretty horrible as well. Yeah, 10 days, 7 hours, and I haven't max rank in the game yet. I've been 5 hours here at level 58, and I'm almost getting close to 3/4 done, but I'm really trying to utilize rested XP as much as I can. Like, I won't play for a day or two, just so I can get as much rested XP as I can get. Oh, I forgot to mention Retribution Aura. That is definitely the aura you want if you're going to be doing something like this, because it causes even more damage to your attackers. So yep, so just grab 4 of them. Make sure you got your you've judged your main target. Make sure you have your seal up on yourself, and basically use Concentration on cooldown and a Holy Shield on cooldown. And if things start looking hairy, you can Divine Shield, you can lay on hands, you can heal yourself. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with this. Make sure to dispel. Yeah, I don't know what to do after this. I really don't. It seems like the way to go once I hit 60 is then to copy my character over into the Burning Crusade. It just seems like that's the way to go. And then you can have a character in Burning Crusade as well as in Classic, and then if and when Classic ever gets populated again, then go back and play it. But man, there's just so much I wanted to do in Classic. For example, go buy all of the mounts for the humans. Of course, get my epic mount as a Paladin. I thought that'd be pretty fun. Go solo Scarlet Monastery. I think the Armory specifically, so that I can get the Scarlet Crusade Tabard. I wanted that. I think that'd be pretty cool to get. I use that in retail because it's like my favorite tabard. But I think the big thing for me to do would actually be just go and play Burning Crusade, because again, Classic is so dead right now. We're gonna get 1 to 60. Let's see if all those people are still online. They are. See, what's weird to me is a lot of these guys are all in different things. So yeah, so notice how they were all in Stranglethorn? Now they're all in Stormwind. I think they all just logged in so they could get their world buff, and now they're in Stormwind. And chances are they're gonna be logging out pretty quick, because so they don't lose time on the buff itself. But 43 total people online for the Alliance in the entire server. That's insane to me, man. It really is. Let's try and get a little bit fancy here. We're going to try and grab 5 of these guys. We're going to pop the shield up there. Alright. Going to try it with 5. Typically, it kind of just comes down to how hard they're going to hit you and how often you get your procs with your redoubt and stuff like that to actually block attacks. Usually 5 is not too bad here, but yeah, this is so much more fun and so much more engaging and so much faster, I should say, as well, than leveling as Rhett in Classic. I mean, you can't really consistently like level as Prot without certain abilities, I wouldn't say. Like Ret is the way to go for a while, but once you get to about level 50, I have found that going to this is just so much better. It just is. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're getting kind of low here on health and mana. Question is, we're going to be able to do it. I think we actually have this. Just going to go ahead and stun him. Put up the Holy Shield. And we should have him as well. Look at that. 167 health left. And my gear is not good. It's literally just what I could get. I mean, if I could have got the Holy Flame Shield, that'd be fantastic. But the auction house is also completely dead, as you might imagine. So you can't just go buy things off the auction house. I did randomly find this helmet on the auction house, which is better than the helmet I had previously. But in general, you know, I got to run Sunken Temple one time, and I was healing, obviously, because Paladin. And I ended up getting this, which is actually nice because of how I'm leveling here. Just some random shield, the stopwatch and the Argent Dawn Commission, that from the quest in Sunken Temple for when I hit 60, but that may be kind of useless going forward. But yeah, looking at the gear here, I don't have anything fancy on me. It's just a bunch of, mostly the gear I have is stuff that I have found that's like dropped off the mobs out here in the Plaguelands. Like, that's pretty much it. But I don't know, it is sad to me that Classic WoW is essentially dead like this, because we all kind of expected that they would be doing the expansions and stuff, but when it comes to Burning Crusade, I don't think people expect it to really come as fast as it did. It was only like 2 years, whereas I think original Classic lasted 3 years. And so they kind of like really expedited the entire process, and now with Burning Crusade, literally everyone's playing that instead of trying to stick to Classic. I think some guilds may come back to Classic just to try and do certain things, but at the same time, in Burning Crusade, you can go back and run the old Classic, like, you know, Molten Core, Naxxramas, and all that. You can just go back and do that in Burning Crusade if you're looking to get certain items just because you want to have them or complete certain challenges that you've set for yourself, or certain goals, I should say, that you've set for yourself. So yeah, Classic WoW, like, what a fun experiment it was. I think it was an overwhelming success, but at the same time, it's sad to say that it's over already, and I'm also the kind of person that's in this really weird spot where I never got to really experience it. I was there for launch, day one, leveling, grinding, having fun, doing all of that. Now here I am, eating my cherry pie and drinking my morning glory dew up here in Western Plaguelands with no one around. Hold on. Yeah, I'm the only player in Western Plaguelands. This was such a highly contested area just a month ago, but I'm the only player left, and I'm sitting here like, oh boy, can't wait to hit 60. That's gonna be super fun. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Just kind of like a little bit of a discussion about Classic WoW and kind of the state of it right now and kind of what I'm doing with it. I think I might eventually go over to Burning Crusade, but I just don't have the same desire to play Burning Crusade as I do Classic right now. But then again, I feel as though inaccessibility breeds desire. I think one of the big reasons why I like the idea of playing Classic WoW so much right now is the fact that it's like completely inaccessible. Basically, there's not much for me to do. I couldn't go raid or dungeon or do attunements if I wanted to, because there's no one else playing the game. It's basically, if you're wondering what it'd be like to play Classic WoW as a completely single player game with like literally nobody else in the world, nothing on the auction house or anything like that, this is it. And it's really creepy. It's honestly really, really weird. But who knows, maybe in the future Blizzard will do something along the lines of adding like a mega server and then putting like everyone together on this like giant like an Eastern mega server, a Central mega server, and then like a Western mega server or something like that, and then from there making it so, you know, everyone's all on those servers, and hopefully there'd be enough people to actually, you know, have a community. I don't know, I really don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider leaving me a like. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.